What's up, everyone? Good morning. It's Tuesday, June 24th, 2025. And we got some green coming in today. Dow futures up 339, NASDAQ futures up 225, S&P futures up 47, VIX down 9% to 18.01. As far as stocks go, most stocks are in the green. Coinbase up a little over 2%. Tesla up a little over 2%. AMD up just under 3%. AVGO up 2%. A lot of stocks up between 1% and 2%. So a little rally last night based on what was said to be a ceasefire in Israel and Iran. But just from what I understand, it sounds like they've both broken it already. So who knows what today will bring. But I will be I don't know if I'll be trading any delta neutral today or not, to be honest with you. If we get price action that's in a 10-point range for an hour, maybe I will, but just not even going to try to mess with it. Yesterday was besides the afternoon, last hour or so, last hour or two, the morning price action was just awful. Straight down and then straight up, and who knows what today's going to bring. But so it'll all be dependent upon what price is doing. We'll have to see how the market reacts here as the bell's about ready to ring. As like I said, I don't know if that ceasefire is going to stick or not. And there is the bell. Morning, Bosch. Morning, Ken. Morning, Miles. PLTR down to pre-market lows. Apple through pre-market lows. Goog through pre-market lows. Tesla through pre-market lows. So, some of these stocks that had such a big bounce last night, doing what I thought they might. That's pulling back out of the gates. AMD through pre-market highs. S&P up 43, Dow up 323, NASDAQ up 222. So the NASDAQ the strongest, up over 1%. PLTR, hood, MSTR falling. Tesla coming down. PLTR has gone in the red. Now MSTR completely reversed. AVGO staying strong. Up over 4%, 4.25% AVGO. Wow. So, got a little two-way action. Some stocks going up. Meta with a big push up. Some stocks coming down. Getting our second bar here now. Yeah, MSTR all over the place. Down, then up, now down. VIX under 18, 17.96. The VIX is going lower. Let's just hope that the moves correspond with the low VIX. They should be not as big. I mean, when I first started trading TLC, like VIX was like 11, 12, 13, 14. I'm guessing by July, we may see some all-time highs, if not before. Tesla staying weak, coming down. Tesla in the red now. Amazon through pre-market highs. Pulling back here a little bit, right to pre-market highs. If it stays right there, I might get long Amazon. If it holds from coming down anymore. See how this bar finishes. AVGO with a little bit of a pullback. One of the stronger stocks on the board. Don't see any volume bars. It's hustling through lows. Netflix appears to have hit an all-time high. I might get long AVGO here, and if it drops below that red bar, then I just exit. So could be a quick trade if I jump in. Seeing what it's doing here the first minute. Would trade the 265 calls. That's kind of popped up. Yeah, kind of leave them without me. Although it's somewhat hard to have a line in the sand on AVGO. Right there. Yeah, JP's testified before and that doesn't really do anything for the markets. I think there's consumer confidence at the top of the hour. But last month sometime there was a time last month, a couple of different days that he testified and didn't really do anything. Mostly because probably the questions were pretty, some of the questions he gets asked, kind of ridiculous. S&P going straight up so far. Yeah, I'm going to pass on AVGO. It's just not. No real good line in the sand other than that red bar. NVIDIA getting a mighty 90 short. Although Still has plenty of time to get a big volume bar too, so it may end up being, if it was finishing right now, it'd be a good mighty 90, but that bar looks like it will probably get as big as the first, so it would be an upside volume runner instead. We'll have to see how it finishes here. It doesn't seem like that long ago, and NVIDIA was at 90. Now it's at 147. Yeah, Amazon stayed above pre-market highs. About 15 points up so far in the S&P. Yeah, it looks like NVIDIA is going to get an upside volume runner. That's right, Dark Avenger. Now that we see the bar, can definitely draw that conclusion. And no pullback at all on NVIDIA, just straight up. So big bar in NVIDIA. Coinbase going through highs. Coinbase was real close to an upside volume runner as well. AVGO pushing back up. Yeah, looks like either one of those would have been winners. CrowdStrike coming down to lows. So maybe we will get a pullback here. So a line in the sand with a volume runner is the bottom of the price bar that corresponds with the volume bar. So I mean, I wouldn't enter NVIDIA now. I mean, it would have to pull back quite a bit. Otherwise, you can take a risk and be aggressive and jump in now, and it might work out for you. But if the next couple bars it keeps coming down, like your line in the sand is way down here. So those type of volume runners are a little difficult. I would have rather seen that be a mighty 90 short. But we got a big volume bar there. So about 18-point move up so far in the S&P. Coinbase going to get a big volume bar to the upside. Hood getting a volume bar to the upside. All right, so NVIDIA is still pulling back here. So it's getting closer to getting to where I'd like to get in. So I would look at the 148 calls. See if I can get filled at $1.30. And then if it was to come down more, I could always add to it. So that's how I'll position size. Microsoft through lows of day. Apple coming down. I'm going to lower that. I'm going to lower this in NVIDIA to $1.20. If it comes down and gets me, great. Lower it to $1.20. I'll try to jump in here. Filled at $1.25 in NVIDIA. Filled in at $1.25. So got a little better fill than I would have. I would get out of half at $1.40. No pullback in coin or hood. S&P pulling back now a little bit. Yeah, so you just had to wonder, like, I haven't followed it this morning, but do we really have a ceasefire? I mean, I wondered if price might come down out of the gates. Kind of went up. Now it's coming down a little bit. I've got an order at $1.40 to close half my NVIDIA. Wow, Coinbase popping again. I'm going to lower that to $1.37, which is exactly 10%. Filled at $1.37 to close half my NVIDIA. Close another at $1.49. So a little choppy out of the gate here now with the S&P. Hood with another big volume bar. Apple staying weak. VIX popping. But we've got Coinbase still going up. Hood, AMD, Netflix, MU. Not sure what to think here. This price action. All right, looks like indices coming down a little. Well, NASDAQ's not really. NASDAQ's holding, so that's probably why some of these NASDAQ stocks are still popping. Again, I got an order at $1.49 to close another NVIDIA. Nothing but big bars out of coin and no pullbacks. So, yeah, AVGO is just, it's holding. S&P coming all the way back down to about where it entered. Or it entered, about where it opened. So I wonder if we're going to start getting a little weaker here. VIX up through highs of day. So yeah, it kind of looks like it's going to be interesting to see if what happens here. Netflix highs of day. AMD's actually got a little bit of a mighty 90 short. Oh, Steve's an Uber and Amazon. What did he? Okay, so he probably got an Amazon like I was talking about when it pulled back to pre-market highs. So NVIDIA not pushing up. AMD up 5.5%. So that mighty 90 short. It's kind of hard to short something up that much. Apple staying weak. Coinbase pausing here a little bit. See if Coin can give me an entry on the 330 calls. I'll put an order in at 930 on the 330 calls in Coin and see if it comes down to get me. Hoods a pushing. Amazon now coming back down. So is NVIDIA. Filled at 925 in Coin. So my line in the sand on coin, is just right here on this pullback. I would close half my coin at 10.15 if it can pop. Netflix, new all-time highs. So a little two-way action happening here. Oh, there goes coin. Filled at 10.45. Oh, love it. Wow. All right, let's close another one at 11.50. Yeah, Tesla staying weak through lows. Yeah, I never heard of CRWV either. Whatever Steve's trading. I need NVIDIA to pop up. Filled 11.55 in coin. Wow. Monster. I would close the rest of my coin at, I got one left, 12.55. NVIDIA, it's coming right down to my line in the sand. Yep, now coin reversing. Stay up there, coin. Stay up there, NVIDIA. No stopping AMD right now. AMD's chip stock that MU just hit all-time highs. Why isn't NVIDIA going with them? Usually they're pretty in unison. Yeah, so NVIDIA, man, had a profit in that, and now it's coming down. All right, closing NVIDIA. Oh, I got to take that off first. Filled at $1.14 to close NVIDIA. So $8 winner. Nice job, NVIDIA. Thanks for playing. Now one could have reloaded on coin when it pulled back here. I don't know if anybody did. So indices a little choppy, which is fine. But I can tell you what, there are stocks that are not choppy. Netflix, AMD, Roblox, Baba, Coin, Hood. Yeah, good out in NVIDIA. Tesla staying weak. Meta coming down. Oh, here comes SPX down and a little bit of juice getting pumped in. SPX touched lows of day below where it opened. Hood pulling back just a little bit. So if you think Hood's got more in it, let's pull it back a little bit there. Yeah, Coinbase pausing. Hood. I'd like to see it pull back to yesterday's high, but it may not. See, if I traded Hood, it would be the $80 calls. Let's see if I can get filled for $1.80, $1.80 in Hood. Filled at $1.80. So my line in the sand is basically where this pullback, bottom of this pullback here. And I would close half at $2. So I'll have a quick trigger if Hood can't pop back up here. I could reload and coin, but I'm not going to. PLTR pushing back up. Trying to get up to where it opened. Watson hit an Elmo. Yeah, pretty good price action for an Elmo, I would say. Need an extension out of hood. And we need an extension. One more extension out of coin. MSTR through highs of day. Yeah, so coin, this used to be, well, one of our favorite things to see for an upside continuation runner. You have a push up, and then you have a little 3-bar pullback, and then it continues higher. You get in on this little 3-bar pullback, because then your line in the sand is right here where these previous 2 bars have bounced. Got filled on something. Oh, hood. Filled at $2 to close half my hood. Close another hood at 220. Now coin and hood coming down a bit. I want them to see them hold. Just hold. But you can see how this could be a really good upside continuation if you're not in coin, if you want to reload right here. Because if it pushes through there, you're just closing it out for a small loss. Wow, MU through highs of day and rocking it. NVIDIA, pretty good reversal. Man, part of me really wants to reload in coin, but then a part of me just wants to make sure I have the profits. Although I'm starting to really see some, wow, I am seeing some incredible theta decay in coin. I got in at 925. It's down to 960. Yeah, it needs to bounce. I'm going to cut it. She needs to bounce, or I'm going to cut it. Yeah, I'm just gonna. Hand on the trigger and coin. Yeah. Jeez. Cutting coin. I've lost a ton of profit. Built at 870. Jeez. $415 winner. It was up like 800. Wow. That's a bummer. Good lesson there. Sometimes you just take your final contract off. If you've hit a couple profit targets. And now hood is below my line in the sand. Let's see what this bar does here. If it bounces, I'll hold it. All right, hood's starting to bounce, thankfully. Don't have to cut it. Let's see, PLTR through highs of day. S&P starting to creep back up. Yeah, S&P creeping a little bit. Hood just can't get going. Tesla through lows. Darn, I didn't see that. I might have gotten short. Did not see that it was staying weak. And now hood is below where I got in. Okay. Closing my hood. Filled at $1.75. So just not going to lose any more profit. In hood. I wanted to see those take off and get back up to highs of day, and it still might at some point. So, all right, folks, I'm gonna jump off, and I don't know if I'll do any TLC or not. We'll have to just see what price action does here. It's pretty muted so far. It's been in about a 18, 19 point range so far. So let's see if it stays in this range or if it's going to break out. So see everybody during Power Hour. Peace.